Okay, in this recording, I am going to be going into what are Samskaras, or basically stored energetic patterns from the past. Samskara is the Sanskrit word for it in the yogic tradition. And I'm going to be talking about how they ultimately run your life and perceive your reality in ways that maybe aren't actually in alignment with the truth of who you are. And we're also going to be talking about how mushrooms help to purify your samskaras and make sure that you do have the opportunity to process them, get them up and out so that more energy aligned with love and compassion can actually make their way into your reality on a much more regular basis. So first, what is a samskara? So if you think about just living your day-to-day life, basically, we experience really painful things, right? We experience emotions that are lower level vibrations. And if we're thinking about lower level vibrations, think about fear, hatred, anger, being afraid, feeling unsafe. Those are low energy vibrations. And when we have those experiences and those create those emotions, that is an energetic pattern. And because our life is so busy and our mind is thinking about a lot of things, and oftentimes it's not calm, it's those energetic experiences often get stored in our body as energy, okay? And a lot of the times, if we think about the course of our life, we have, some small patterns that emerge, but we have some really big life things that we go through that are extremely painful. And because of how fast our life moves, maybe our natural tendency is we do know, I think as energetic beings, that we want to release these, but what happens is they maybe come into our mind and we start trying to think our way of releasing the energetic pattern that may be a lower vibration, but oftentimes because our life moves so fast, our mind just moves on to other things and it never actually gets released and processed. And so what happens is that stored energetic pattern then moves to our heart chakra, which is a energy center, okay? And the heart chakra has the ability to release that emotion and that energetic pattern that's stored, that samskara, but it requires you to actually feel and experience the energy of what is stored, and that is very painful and very hard. And so when you're moving really fast in your life, or maybe you're just not still enough to tune in and tap into it, which is really difficult to do, then you just resist it. And it just stays stored within you as an energetic pattern, okay? So then what happens in terms of how this actually shapes your reality and how it can lead to depression is that everything that you experience in your day-to-day is energy being perceived by your five senses. And what happens, let's imagine it's moving through a wall of your five senses, right? You're seeing it, you're hearing it through someone else's talking, energy, what they're doing, all of that. And it's moving into, up to your consciousness. But because of all of these stored samskaras, it's actually being blocked by those. It's literally being cut off from an energetic perspective. So if you are actually, someone is giving you love, for example, or making you feel loved or giving you that energy in actuality, but you have all of these samskaras from the past, it's blocking that. You can't actually feel that love. And you may feel that from your partner. You may feel things at work and family, all of these things. And because it's blocked, it doesn't make its way into your consciousness to actually perceive that. And how sad is that, right? But that's how we live all the time. So even if you yourself are in a new relationship and things are happening and your body or your heart just goes into a full closed off state, maybe your heart starts beating, maybe you're literally having a reaction from the past and you don't even understand where it's coming from, like very likely it's because of, that stored energetic pattern that hasn't yet been felt and released. Okay. So this becomes so challenging when you are in a situation where these are just building up and building up and building up, and it feels like all you feel is darkness. You can't feel any energy of love or light. Okay. And maybe we can call that depression in this case. So let's talk about how do we actually release them? Well, what's difficult about this is we often don't know, like it's unconscious to us, what is actually stored in there. And so what mushrooms allow you to do is they do like purify your energy from this perspective. So they literally will bring up and out these old stored energetic patterns that aren't serving you and aren't allowing you to experience love and light. And from a healing perspective, these mushroom experiences are painful, but that's because you're actually feeling the energy that's been stored. And you have to do that for it to come up and out. And it's really difficult, but it helps you do that work. And it does it so efficiently from my perspective. And that's why you're crying. That's why you're releasing. These are intense experiences. But on the other side, what you feel is just, oh my God, to say a breath of fresh air is an understatement. The vibration that you get to from clearing all of those, you're just like, I can't even believe how sick I actually was from an emotional perspective because you've been living it for so long and didn't even know. So that's all I'm going to say here for the sake of time. If you have any more questions, definitely let me know. A lot of the teaching within this recording comes from the book, The Untethered Soul. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll add more information in the details here.